building the business turns you into a different kind of human being.
Realize that failure is a part of the journey.
I think there's hope out there for all of us.
They say procrastination be the assassination of destinations. That's why we out here grinding with no association with haters and them other crabs trying to put us down. Pest badges in the house, boy, don't clown. Just keep your eyes on the prize, ain't no giving up. You can do whatever you dream of. Just keep your eyes on the prize, ain't no giving up.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Pest Control Millionaire. I don't think this gentleman needs much of a intro here. He's been on here a few times. I think the last time, Kendall, was probably in, where were we, Florida?
It was down at the Pest World last year. And I guess is that really it was a special episode, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, we have Kendall Hines with us today, founder of Clicki. Kendall, you've done a lot of interesting, cool things. And I think the first time we met was in person, was probably at like one of it was I'm trying to think where it was. I think it was at Pest World, maybe in Boston, maybe before that. Can't remember exactly where it was.
It actually was Pest World. And It was like right after we sold our last company, LawnBot, and you were obviously there scoping it out and ran into each other. And we just, I don't know, I think we probably go back like 6-7 years, maybe even 10 years. I think we knew each other before that and probably had chatted before that, but that was the first time we ever actually met in person. Yeah.
And you had just sold the LawnBot. I think you were working with what company was you there with? You sold it to, right?
We sold it to WorkWave.
Yeah, so you were there with WorkWave, yeah.
Yeah, initially we sold it to Real Green, and then about 6 months later, WorkWave came in and bought the whole thing. So it was kind of surprising to us, but
yeah, so you were there. You were at the WorkWave booth. That's where the first time we actually met in person. We were chatting.
Yeah, I was literally there working and ran into you. And I was trying to sell you LawnBot at the time, our online ordering software. And,
I'm like the easiest sell ever. Did I buy it?
Not at the time. No, you were like, oh, that's cool. I think you had an issue with close rate or something. You were like, hey, we prefer.
Yeah, because we were using like Simple Growth thing. I can't remember exactly who it was. A long time ago.
Yeah,
we had AI software at the time that was in the measurement, and what would happen is it would auto measure the property, and then they go to check out, and no one would actually just ever check out. They would just sit right there. So they would just price shop it. I felt like that's what we were struggling with at the time. I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still there's still solutions out there like that. I think over time more and more people will be comfortable with paying online, but this is still. One of those things. I think a percentage of the market wants to sign up online, not talk to anybody. There's a percentage of the market that, I don't know if it's just an older generation, they want to talk to you on the phone. I say, let's serve them all. Like we should be able to, let's, whether they're young or old or there's 70-year-olds that are super tech savvy that we see like just crush on Clicki. So I don't think it's an age thing. We get that sometimes. We're like, does this work this won't work in my market because it's full of old people or something. And I'm like, well, bro, old people go to shows. They use Ticketmaster. They're using their digital wallets. They're on the trend. Okay,
for sure. I have a flight instructor. He's 71 years old, and that guy knows more about maybe not software, but he is very tech savvy. He is all over everything. So you're not wrong.
Hey, we're not going backwards, right? We're not going back to Yellow Pages. So,
but I think even still, I think there's things like when the customer goes to check out. When they get left in their their cart, it has automations now where to say, hey, you left us in your cart, blah, 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 stuff like that. So there's a lot of solutions to help for sure.
Yeah, it's getting better. It's getting faster. And I think one bet we made back then was like, hey, I didn't really know AI was going to take over like it did, but I'm glad we sold when we did because I think it's going to be so much of a commodity soon. Once these models get super, super, super good, and it's just you can ask Google Gemini, what's the square footage of this property? And it tells you the square footage of the lawn, the house, it will be that good eventually. It's going to be like water and it's going to be prevalent and everywhere. And so everything kind of happens, I think, how it's supposed to.
I agree. And there's so much, we'll talk about this, I'm sure, but there's so much software getting brought to the table right now we have access to everything that just, you can build everything pretty much yourself at this point. It's definitely changing in the game for sure. So every time you turn around, there's more software coming out.
Yeah, left and right. I have a really interesting thesis right now that like software is no longer the moat. Usually when you're raising money for your company, people ask like, well, what's your moat? Like how do you differentiate yourself versus the competition? I was like, there is no moat with software anymore. It's all distribution and like taste and like knowing what looks good, knowing about user experience. Yes, you can build anything yourself, but can you support anything yourself? I think that's the thing that gets lost in the conversation sometimes, is like when Supabase goes down or AWS goes down, like if you've never dealt with that, like when you have mission critical software, like you cannot have outages, right? That means the people using your tool, like they cannot function and run their business. So I think I'm really excited to be in the era that we're in, because I've had all these ideas my whole life, and I've just like never been able to test them very quickly. And now we can test these ideas really quickly, get feedback on it really quickly, and then ultimately, it's good for the customer at the end of the day. I think you're gonna see costs come down, innovation go up, and let's see where the chips fall. When all the dust settles.
And so with like Claude, right? It can like code almost anything for the most part. Have you seen that as a helpful tool for yourself, or do you still do everything old school analog way? Like,
Yeah, so we use AI to turn like junior developers into like 10x developers. So Eric runs our development team. He's our CTO in-house, literally in the office over from here. They're using a product called Cursor, and then underneath the hood is Claude, Anthropic's models. So, and they rotate out models depending on what they're doing, whether it's design. But ultimately, like we still, like if you go to our website, everything you see is like my taste. The colors we choose, like the fact that we chose the words we did where we wanted to do it. We don't leave the functional decisions all up to AI. There's a lot of times where you have to stop and say, no, that is completely stupid. That you're missing the user experience on this part. Like, let's do it differently. And it's like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, Kendall. I should have thought of that. Like it's kind of wild, but AI is a big yes man, even if you're like going down the wrong path sometimes. So
yeah, I agree with that for sure. Let's circle back a little bit because I feel like we're just getting started and we're already getting ahead of ourselves. Let's turn the clock back a little bit. Kind of just tell us, like I said, you sold this first software company, and then you started Clicki, which is one of my favorite tools ever. Obviously, we used a lot of it, but kind of just walk us through that path.
Yeah, I mean, I come from the industry. I grew my parents' lawn care business even before software. I grew my parents' lawn care business. Lawn Doctor. If you're watching the YouTube, I got this plaque from Green Industry Pros behind me. It says, "Lawn man delivers instant quotes, green thick weed free." So I came from the industry and grew my family's business. I didn't know how to sell lawn care. I went out and found a mentor, kind of like a lot of your listeners probably do in the PCM program. This didn't exist. I had to go find somebody to teach me how to sell lawn care, and ended up becoming one of the fastest growing Lawn Doctor franchises in the United States. And from there, we were generating so many leads. I was like, well, why can't people sign up and pay online? Boom, like instant quotes. So I started testing, different softwares at the time. AI development wasn't a thing. I had to go learn this myself, and I built a little tool. Met Eric, who built out the real version of LawnBot back in the day, and we called it LawnBot. So we used it in my own company. All my buddies in the industry reached out. They wanted to use it in their business as well. And that grew really fast. We got to like probably 300 companies in a year. Real Green, which is a popular CRM, a lot of people know it. They reached out and said, "Can we buy you?" And we said, "Let's see what the numbers look like," right? So we ended up saying yes. That was back in 2020. We sold that company, LawnBot. My brother Jordan, who's been on the pod, actually took over marketing, and he took over the Lawn Doctor business. And today they're doing like $3 million in revenue plus, servicing all of from the Lakeshore, Michigan to like Ann Arbor. So they're branching out and expanding. And I went all in on software. And then for 3 years, I worked at Real Green / WorkWave. So learned a lot about pest control while being there. I didn't come from pest control, but a lot of our customers ended up being pest because WorkWave, obviously with the Pest Pack connection. So learned a lot about it, and that was kind of what brought us. After we left WorkWave, we left and we was, oh, what do we work on next? And we looked at it and we said, well, our referral program was a mess at Lawn Doctor back in the day. Nobody's really solved referrals. And at the same time, like, and I'm Jonas, I'm sure this is like what you teach and preach, is like the cost for leads keep going up. Like if you're just competing against everybody else on Google, like the only person winning at the end of the day is Google. So how do we like decrease this cost per lead, cost per sale? Referrals seemed like a great way to do it. So we started building Clicki, and that was back in 2023. And it's just been off to the races since then. So today, you know, Clicki is the referral system for lawn care, pest control, pool cleaning, home services. We do a beauty and med spa too, but you know, our core market is really home service and everything to make their referral program beautiful and easy and modern and connects to their CRM and, you know, drive lower cost leads in their business. So,
And obviously, huge advocate over here. Always have been, which is cool, really awesome. And now, I forget to mention this, but you're actually one of our proud sponsors of PCM, which is super awesome.
yeah, I feel like we had to, right? Like there were people just organically reaching out. You brought me on the pod a few times and people, you know, had reached out saying they saw us on here. I felt like, well, we got to show some love where love is due, as they say.
Yeah, it's been fun. So I appreciate that as well. So thank you. Hold up, quick pause. If you're on a pest control company or fertilization weed control company, you're not in our Facebook group, you're choosing the harder path. Every operator that's in there is skipping years of mistakes because people are actually sharing what's working right now. So stop trying to brute force your way through growth alone. Search Pest Control Millionaires on Facebook or click the link below. And now let's get back to it. So from there, like Bravo comes along, which is obviously another cool tool. We talk about that. And then from there, I want to transition maybe into best ways to use Clicki. So let's talk about Bravo first. How they work together, and then maybe from there we'll take a step and say, hey, what's the best way to use Clicki, and then we'll move on from there.
Yeah, I think one thing that we do really, you know, great versus like other companies is we really listen to our customers, and not only do we listen, but like I am my own customer. So like our buddies, Travis and Kevin, you, like we're friends. Like when you guys tell me feedback, like I take that to heart.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I don't mean to cut you off, but Sunday at 1 or 2 in the afternoon, we're trying to figure this out. All of a sudden, we're on the phone with Kendall on a Sunday. So
Yeah.
it's the customer service has been obviously fantastic. So
And I appreciate. I just like, I'm building the company that like I wish I could have used back in the day, and I just care a lot. So I think that's one thing that really, that's why Bravo exists. Travis came to me. He's like, he keeps saying that this other company is raising their bill and raising their rate and treating him like shit as a customer. He was one of the day one customers for them. And then like once they grew, he basically got kicked to the curb. And then he's like, I want to do these special things with my technician surveys and Google reviews and tips and all this stuff. He's like, can you build it? Well, AI started to heat up at the time. And we started testing out with some different AI tools. And we were able to actually build something really awesome in about a month. And he started using it. And we had other customers coming to us, like when we were on demos for Clicki, and they were saying, yeah, I use Podium, I use Applause, I use Bird Eye, I use Nice Job or whatever in their business. And it made me see really clearly, like most companies don't want 8 different point solutions. They don't want to go do a demo with Podium and then do a demo with Clicki and then do it. They want one trusted solution provider, and I think that's where Bravo really comes in. So today we have Clicki, Bravo. So you can think of Clicki as everything external incentives, how to incentivize everybody outside of your company. Bravo is internal incentives. How do you incentivize everybody inside of your company? For driving score, technician leads, upsells, Google reviews, tips, you name it. We took a lot of the same technology from Clicki and rolled it into Bravo. And that's what we have today is Clicki and Bravo. I named it separately because I wanted to have our own unique lexicon or dictionary. I didn't want to try to roll all these functions under one brand and try to communicate that to the market that Clicki does everything under the sun. And I think we're really resonating with that because people are kind of following along. I mean, we have 300 companies today just on Bravo, and we have 500 companies on Clicki. So people are really digging like the separate brand. Inside of their own company, there's different departments that use different softwares, right? So your marketing team might use Clicki for customer referrals, but like your tech leads and your tech managers might use Bravo more often. So you really want that different lexicon inside your organization because you can move a lot faster. If I say Bravo, I know exactly what you're talking about. If I say Clicki, I know exactly what you're talking about there. I'm not trying to, well, is it this inside of, is it a module in this thing? No. And I like to say like I planned that out, but really it was a gut feel. I was like, should we roll it under Clicki or should we name it separately? We just named it separately. So.
Love it. And then what are the best ways? I know you kind of already said it, but what are some of the best ways to use? Let's start with Clicki first and then Bravo. And there's a lot of cool things that you can do with Clicki, like we can talk.
Yeah. So when we look at the best brands on Clicki, we have some best practices that we go over with our companies, like when they onboard with us. One, obviously connect it to your website. It's got to be visible throughout the entire customer journey from the moment somebody becomes a customer. So let's say they're getting a proposal. There's a call to action on the bottom of the proposal talking about referrals. It's on your website. We even have guys like put QR codes on their trucks. You think about leave behinds. A lot of people like to do like a first application leave behind after the initial. Maybe that'd be a great spot to put a referral.
You have one there.
A little insert into like a new customer folder. That's what we used to do at Lawn Doctor.
We have one there too.
Yeah. So there's basically, if you just look at your customer journey and think about every customer touch point, like we should be talking about referrals in every part of that. In the email signature for you and all of your team members. So on G Suite, you can customize your email signature across your entire organization. You can do this for Outlook as well, but like specifically, G Suite. That's helpful, right? Every time somebody sends an email in your organization, they're promoting the referral program. And then beyond that, the kind of customer journey stuff, I would say to turn on our sequences. So we just rolled out sequences a few months ago. And sequences are like automations or recipes. When Labor Day rolls around, I want an email and text message blast to go out. When July 4th rolls around, I want an email and text message blast to go out to all my promoters to remind them about the referral program. So that's, I would say, the customer journey, and then definitely make sure you're using sequences if you're not already on Clicki. If you're already on Clicki, you can meet with any of our customer service team or client success, and they'll help you turn on your sequences so that these automations are going out automatically. I think that's something that when you're a startup, you're building so much new stuff, you just don't sometimes realize like all the new stuff that we're building, but sequences is new and we're really pumped about it. So
that's cool. Outside of that, is there anything cool that you've seen people use Clicki, different things outside? Like we've done like competitions, we've done, things like that with our customers.
Yeah, I think competitions, anything you can do to build momentum. So the competitions, time-gated windows, top referrer competitions we see work really well. Local community events. I think the untapped resource with Clicki is partnerships with other verticals and industries. So that's how we got our first 300 customers at Lawn Doctor. I would have lunches with landscapers. They didn't do chemical and fur, and we did. I'm like, hey, I'm like this little 22-year-old kid. I'm like, hey, like help my family eat. We want use us instead of True Green. And we had like 15 different landscapers in town that were sending us business. And how those meetings always left was like you'd exchange a stack of business cards and then the season would heat up and nothing would happen. Well, I think we see Clicki customers, doing realtor partnerships. Well, they'll create a campaign for a real estate agency, add all 17 realtors inside of that agency, and then now they have their own custom link that they can share with their buyers for pest control. Specifically, that's Nice Pest that does that. And it's been really successful for them. And it gives them an operating system, but it also gives you the ability, those 17 people, you can now send blasts to them to keep it top of head, top of mind. You just click a button and you can remind all 17 realtors that, by the way, here's your referral link. We're raising the bonus from 50 to 100 this week. So there's lots of unique ways, I guess, that we see people, using the software.
Yeah, and like I said, we've done where we've given away trips and big giveaways and forced reviews, referrals. It works really, really well. Love it. The best pest control companies do not leave growth a chance. They build systems. They have a system for generating leads, system for answering the phone, system for servicing the customer, and systems for collecting payments. But most companies still treat referrals like luck. They do a great job, hope the customer remembers to tell a friend, and maybe send an occasional text asking for a referral. That is not a system. Clicki Referrals turns your happiest customers into active, trackable sales channel for your business. Clicki automatically invites customers into your referral program, gives each person their own referral link, tracks the leads and sales they generate, and makes it easy to reward them when those referrals turn into business. And now, Clicki has launched Rewards Pass. Rewards Pass was a brand referral pass for your company directly inside your customer's Apple Wallet or Google Wallet. Think about that. Your brand can live on your customer's phone alongside their cards, tickets, and brands they already use every day. Their personal referral link is always one swipe away. You send push notifications, announce special offers, promote events, and stay connected long after the initial service is complete. This is not another app your customers have to download or another login they have to remember. It's your company, your referral program, and your rewards living directly inside their wallet. If you want more referrals, stronger customer retention, and a customer experience your competitors probably do not have yet, go to joinclicki.com/PCM, book a live demo of Rewards Pass to get $350 in payout credits. Tell them you heard about it on Pest Control Millionaires. That is joinclicki.com/PCM. Stop having your customers send referrals, build a system that makes it happen.
Yeah, the other big thing, and the reason why I wanted to come on like this time of year and just now is we just released Rewards Pass. And I think that's going to be a game changer for not only pest control, but I think the home service industry.
Cool. Why don't you explain that to us? What is that?
Yeah. So Apple Wallet, Google Wallet, I'm sure we all use it, have used it in the past. It's where your Ticketmaster stuff goes, where your Starbucks gift cards go, your credit cards go on the phone, and Rewards Pass makes it super easy for anybody in a referral campaign to get their link. And the benefit to them installing a pass on their phone, it takes like 2 seconds for them to do. But once they do it, it allows the brand, so Pest Badger, it's like once your Pest Badger customers install their wallet pass, you can now send them push notifications. That means no paying for SMS and no paying for email. It's just a direct line of communication between the brand and the customer once that pass is on their phone. And we see it being a game changer here shortly. So I think some feedback that we've gotten from our customers, again, going to feedback, is like, how do my customers get back to their referral link? And there's always a little bit of friction around that. They have to go find a text message or an email, or they have to go to your website, or they have to remember like where it is. Now they just need to go to their wallet that they're using every day. And your brand is right in there next to Delta and Starbucks and Pest Badger. Like, I use my Apple Wallet every day. You tap it at the store, you tap it at Meyer M Perks is on there. So now your brand has a home inside of their digital wallet, and that's pretty awesome because there's no other way for home service businesses to do that today, other than what we built.
So what's the best way to roll it out to the customers to get them to want to just add the pass to their phone?
Yeah, well, first of all, you have to have Clicki. Everything is like it's Clicki underneath the hood as the operating system for the links and the tracking and the payouts. But like, for you guys, we have your wallet passes built out and live. We just haven't let all of your customers know about it. So whenever you guys give us the green light, we're going to do a blast. They tap on the link. It says, do you want to add this to Apple Wallet? They click add. It gets installed to their Apple Wallet. And now we can send them push notifications until they either uninstall it or opt out of notifications, but they're automatically opt in. That's one thing. It's one thing about passes I'm super jacked about as a marketer is when they install the pass, they're opted in to push notifications. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, because again, now they're not, like you said, not having to wait to get text message because everyone gets bombarded with text messages constantly now. It used to be email. Now it's new thing is text message. Now they just get a notification on the phone. So is it an app that they download or the notification?
No, it's literally all in their wallet, and it shows up like your other wallet notifications. Like if you get Starbucks points or whatever, it sends a wallet pass push notification. Same thing for this, and kind of where we're headed with it is like your goal, I think, and what we're seeing is like every customer should save this on their phone because it gives them access to exclusive benefits, referral bonuses, obviously. But then the business could in theory let's say for Pest Badger, you want to do a mosquito upsell, and I want to send it to everybody that's installed a pass. Now I can send a push notification. Hey, for the month of July, we're going to do a mosquito upsell and it's half off for pass members only. You could trigger that, and now all of those people will get the push notification. They click it, it brings them right to the pass, and they can get this special offer.
So you could call this like your special rewards members, or have a special name for them.
like a tier of membership almost is what I really see this. I saw Nice do, like, they rented out a water park the other week, and I was like, I wish we would have had this by then, because it's like, to get into the event, you have to save the pass on your phone.
Yeah.
Like, pass only is the way to do it.
Yeah, we had Trav on a PCM call. I think it was like the week of the 4th of July, and we talked a lot about how that event went. It was pretty epic. It's pretty cool what he did.
It was insane. What I love about Travis, he's always pushing the envelope, kind of like me. And when I see, like, I got this idea. I saw this idea in another industry. So Liquid Death was using some other software to run this wallet pass program for their brand. But I was like, well, that would be really cool for lawn and pest and home pool cleaning and beauty med spa and these brands. And we let it marinate for 3 years. So I saw the first version of this like 3 years ago, and we just kept it on the stove marinating till the right time. And we believe right now is the right time. Apple is allowing more and more states to save their driver's licenses to that digital wallet. Soon you're going to be able to save your insurance to the digital wallet. Apple's really bullish on this digital wallet concept, and so is Google. So Google Wallet, Apple Wallet, we see this as being that we're building for like where the future is, not like where the last 10 years were. So,
yeah, I have a question around that. But first, I want to go over best ways to use Bravo and how to incentivize users to use that.
Yeah,
as far as your technicians.
Bravo is so exciting. We have a whole team here at Clicki now that just runs the Bravo stuff. And what I love about Bravo is it's a living, breathing thing. So right now, today, we support bonusing out for Google reviews, NPS scores, technician leads. We had a customer come to us and say on Service Titan has this really specific feature where when the tech is headed to your house, it sends the homeowner a text message with a picture of the tech and like a little bio. We got this feedback 3 or 4 times. They're like, can you do this? Like, can you figure it out? So we did it in Bravo now. It's actually an add-on to Bravo where you can have these technician pre-service notifications that go out automatically with your technician's photo and their bio, like when they're headed to the next house. So that's in Bravo now. Think of Bravo as any way to incentivize your technicians. For upsells and Google reviews, tips, that kind of thing. So best practices would be to turn on tech leads. Like if you're not incentivizing your technicians for upsells, I think that's a huge missed opportunity, because I feel like we've generated like 15,000 upsell opportunities this year. It's been crazy. And the techs are in there anyway. So a lot of people like to say, well, there's another app for the techs to use and, yada, yada. They're already in there anyway, getting their tips and their Google reviews. So they're in field routes or whatever, doing their routes, and then they're in Bravo, like submitting tech leads, getting their cash for Google reviews and tips and that kind of thing. So I would say to leverage all the features. So the tech leads, the Google review bonuses have been big. We now have prizes and competitions where you can run, like most Google reviews in July gets a Yeti cooler, that kind of stuff, or even a cash bonus. You can do that too. We have goals and quotas where you can set a driver score quota. Like you must be if you're between a 95 and 100 every week, then you get a $10 bonus dropped right into your Bravo account. That's new. It's just like we're building so much stuff, little stuff like that, and it's all feedback from our customers. They're like, hey, can I incentivize for this? And we're like, tell me more about that.
Yeah. How does it track the driver score?
Yeah, so we have a Samsara and a Zuga integration, and we're working on Raven is another brand that we've heard.
Let's
go. Yeah, so is that who you guys use?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have lots of those things.
Yeah, Ravens. So yeah, like that's where we get the driver score, and some people even have proprietary Wise House is a good example of this. Dennis, they have some KPIs that they track internally that they wanted to incentivize based off of. And normally, like pre-AI, we like, nope, it's what you get, and that's as far as it goes. But with AI, we can build things pretty quickly. So we're like, all right, Dennis, like, tell me more, but where's this data stored? How's it updated? How's it indexed? And we literally built a connection from his Google Sheets into his Bravo account. And then based on what his VAs enter into the sheet, we can actually bonus and incentivize based off of that. And it's very specific KPIs, like to his business. Like you or Travis, like really wouldn't, I don't think, benefit from those KPIs, but just the way that they aggregate the data and record it, we built that for him specifically. And it's pretty flexible. So it's
when are we thinking the Raven integration is going to happen?
I just had a call with them, I think 2 months ago. They're super jacked about it. So I don't have a timeline on it, but hopefully as soon as possible. Hopefully the Raven guys are watching this, like prioritize our integration.
Hopefully. Yeah, that'd be really sweet. I should make a call. We have a lot of things. I guess where I'm going with that is like one of the biggest exposures we have as operators. You know, we have lots of trucks in the road, and there's just a lot of drivers, and we can't control what they do while they're driving. So if we can incentivize them to have a good driver score that helps us track it a little bit better and incentivize that. Again, one of the things that keeps a lot of larger companies up at night, and some of the reasons that people sell is because of the liability of just having trucks on the road, drunk drivers, all kinds of things happen, right? We can only control so much. So anything that we can do to incentivize, good, clean driver, incentivize that would be beneficial. So that's huge. It's like coming from me.
Yeah. So that's, I think to summarize it, I think exactly what you said is you can incentivize. We want to build Bravo for the platform to incentivize anything. So we've been getting a lot of feedback. Well, actually Trisha gave me this feedback from AirCall, and we're trying to work through this right now. But basically, when a phone call ends with a CSR, a survey goes out to that customer to rate their CSR on the phone, and then you could incentivize your CSRs as well. So I see that's where the Bravo product's going, is really just becoming.
Trisha.
Yeah. Yep. She's
I remember
got that.
talking about that. Yeah.
Yep.
What's her idea too? Not mine.
Yeah, and the thing is that I've heard that from 6 other companies. So when I hear it about 6 times, I'm like, all right, we need to really look at this pretty deeply and like go build it. So
love it. I know we talked a lot about the buzzword currently is AI, and you talked about the future of what you brought up what the future is going to look like. In your opinion, because you're close to tech, I mean, you're in it every single day. Where do you see all this headed? I know we kind of talked about this before, but things change every month, every 2 months, every 3 months, every 6 months. So we haven't talked since last November.
I know.
So what are your thoughts now?
Yeah, I think you see a lot of software companies eating each other's features. And what I mean by that is kind of what we're doing, right? You have referrals, and we're adding technician incentives. Now you don't need Podium and Nice Job. And then so you see these businesses paying for 5 or 6 different, we call them point solutions in software. And back to that original thesis around there's no moat anymore. So we see our competitors doing the same thing. They're trying to roll referrals into their employee solution. And I saw another product pop up yesterday. They started as a dashboard KPI thing, and now they're doing what some of our competitors are doing, plus what we're doing, and they're trying to build the all-in-one tool. That isn't a CRM. So you'd have your CRM and this other thing. So where are we in 5 years? I think there's an interesting window opening right now for something new to pop up. All the legacy CRMs, almost all the legacy CRMs minus Gorilla Desk, they're owned by PE or they're public. And then there's Gorilla Desk, I think, is one of the private ones that are still standing.
Good old Chris.
Chris, they do a great job. They have a lot of happy customers, and I nothing short to say on there. But I think just in 5 years from now, I think what we have today are solutions for humans to use. They weren't built for AI agents to use. So there's a lot of friction, even with third-party tools like Same Day and Volca and some of these. What's the other one? Avoca, I think it is. Avoca, that's the one. They just raised like $250 million, just crazy money around it. But so they have to deal with APIs and all this stuff. The data in Service Titan or in Field Routes is not in a good way for AI agents to actually index and use it in a really useful way. Plus, all of your company context lives in AirCall and it lives in Gmail. So you have to combine all these 3 data sources into a really useful data lake where AI could actually really use it in real time and fast. And CRMs today aren't built that way. They didn't, because they were built for the way that CRMs used to run. And that's like basically a spreadsheet with some UI slapped on it. That's why you have all these checkboxes, and it takes your new staff weeks to learn the new CRM because this company wanted this one feature, so they went and built it, and this other company didn't want it. So if you don't want it, you have to turn on that checkbox or turn it off. So long story short is where is all this going? I believe that there's going to be an agentic solution, and basically everything that a brand would pay for on their P&L software-wise would be handled by this one agentic solution. Website, CRM, anything software-wise that you're paying for, like from multiple providers, is going to be provided by one company, and they're going to own the context layer in the business. So I think 10 years from now, if you build a really big, if you want to double your pest control company, you're not going to go hire a bunch of CSRs. You're just going to turn on these different agents that are like available to you. And this is my belief, just because I'm in it, and is the person who's going to build the best AI agent is going to have the best source of data. And the only way you're going to have the best source of data is if you start from scratch with that in mind. We need to build it in a way where an AI could easily index this, use it in real time, and take action across the stack. So who knows? Maybe we'll build it. Maybe we'll build it. You never know.
5 years, but do you think it's actually 5 years away? Or do you think it's like 5 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years away? What do you think?
I think AI is it's a buzzword right now. People are cashing in on the name. You see these, I hear customers at these pest control shows, they signed up with so-and-so AI agent company. They turned it off because it's not working how it was sold. They give them some flashy demo, sounds good, looks good. Then when it gets in the real world, it's pissing off customers. So basically where we're at with AI phone agents, what I've seen and heard just from real customers is overflow and after hours. That's where we should be.
That, in my opinion, isn't super great.
Yeah.
It's an expensive voicemail.
Right. So
currently
100%. And what do we know? We know we're not going backwards. The models will keep getting better. So at some point we will be there.
I want to give a good example. So we have AI agents that call, and they do a lot of our accounts receivable, right? And sometimes it'll just start speaking Spanish, but it's fixed really quickly. But it just happens. We'll call the older customer, and it was talking to the customer, and it's super friendly. It's nice. And he went to go speak, and it cut her off. Then she came back and said, because she got interrupted. She's like, "Well, pay your bill." That's all it said. It cut off the first part of it. So he's mad that she's telling the AI agent is telling this person to pay his bill, and he's like, "Are you mad at me?" She's like, "Oh no, I'm not mad at you." And then he hung up the phone and called to talk to a manager because that person was rude to him.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those. 100%. It's kind of interesting. So I think we're in the first inning. There's a lot of work to go. But when I think about what we want to work on at Clicki, we have a lot of these interesting ideas. And at some point you have to ask yourself, well, are you going to keep beating your head up against the wall and being threatened to be sued because this company doesn't want you leveraging their API, or worst case, they don't have a good API by design. They don't have a good API by design because they don't want you to leave their system. So you got to ask yourself at some point, how much bullshit are you willing to put up with and just go, build your own thing? And there's only a select number of people that could do this and could execute and have the team and have the trust in the marketplace. Maybe we're one of them. Who knows?
That's the second time that you said it. So now
maybe we're one of them. You never know. You never know. But I don't know. In a perfect world, I would love I guess we just have an opinionated take, and that's why as entrepreneurs, we build great things, is because if we had there's a reason you chose pink, and there's a reason why you have your mascot, and there's a reason why it's called Pest Badger. Like, there's a reason for all of it. Like, it was very opinionated. It was a choice. It could have just named it ABC Pest Control and like blended in. But there's a reason for these things, and I think a lot of the innovation has stopped at these vertical CRM companies. They get bought by private equity. The founder leaves. They don't give a shit anymore. It's now have cogs in the wheel who are worried about their PTO and vacation time, not how happy the customers are. So I don't know if that shot's fired, but that's just how I feel.
I've been saying that for years now because I've been through a couple, not personally, but through the acquisitions of those companies, and then all of a sudden you're left on the other side. It's like now you try to get someone on the phone, and all they care about is their bottom line, their cash, right? And maybe that, not throwing any names out there, but maybe that company that they bought wasn't the greatest company and they lost money. So they're trying to pull more people out of it than that go of most of their staff, and it's very limited. And yeah. And then so you just don't have a good customer experience from our end.
So yeah, if I have a public service announcement to every listener on this call, it's be very wary of any document you sign with any CRM company from now forward. What we're seeing is these companies are trying to lock you in for multi-year contracts, put in really scary language about using because what we're going to get to a point in the cycle where you want to take your API key with so-and-so CRM and give it to Claude, and Claude can go run your CRM now. Well, guess what Claude can do? It can also export all of the intelligent workflow, business logic out of the CRM, or it will be able to. Like, and they're going to threaten you, well, we can sue you if you go do that. Like, that's in a lot of these API. So these API contracts that are being signed. So that's a PSA for anybody listening. Look at every document that you sign with the CRM company and what are you signing up for? And if it doesn't go good, or even what agreement you're in now, like what have we signed in our company? Like that matters. It will matter over this next 5 years.
And the easy thing to do is just, like I said, run it through Claude. Let Claude tell you what you signed. Because we use Claude we use Claude here, but for everything.
Yeah. I mean, so the developers like Anthropic, which leans more towards Claude. On the marketing side, we use Codex and GPT a lot. It seems like the GPT image model is really good.
Yeah, it's gotten better for sure.
So good. It's like all the social images and like that's where we're at today. It's going to continue getting better. So I just, they're slipping these languages and these API contracts, and the fact that like I can tell you right now, like APIs do not cost the business that much money. They should give it to you for free. API key should be free. That was my post that way.
You have 50% of what your annual contract is just to have the API key.
It's bullshit, man. And we had a post that went micro viral on Instagram last week. It said API key should be free. It's a big black flag. Like free,
I saw that. Yeah.
Free your data. Like
okay, I have a question. Yes, I use social media for work, but I'm not a scroller. What the hell was all that about, the black flake thing? I missed something.
So there was a trend. It was a hot trend. It was like overtaking Instagram and X and all this stuff. It was a couple that, did you see the couple that they climbed to the top of I think it was.
Oh yeah, I heard that on a podcast. I heard that on Patrick Bet podcast.
The Empire State Building.
Yeah.
And all the brands started hopping on it and putting their own words on the flag. It was just such a memeable moment because everybody heard about the event and then they were putting their own shit on the text on the flag.
Gotcha. Yeah, I missed that. I was like, what?
It was hilarious. Some of these I was dying laughing on, and I was like, instantly when I saw that in my head, I was like, we were dealing with some API issues for a client, and it was like, I've said it for so long, like API keys should be free. Like there is no reason why
you're paying for your API keys when it should be free.
Think about it. Like your customer information and your service information is your information. And now you're paying this company who, what do? They put it in a database, which is a glorified fucking CSV file. Like, and now they're going to charge you to get it out. Like that is crazy that we live in this world where that's a thing. And then like, they want to say, well, like it must be enterprise grade and all this stuff. I mean, it's not the enterprise grade. I can tell you that right now. Like there's not much there. But you're paying thousands and thousands of dollars to get your own damn data that your staff that you paid to plug into the thing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So we think an agentic version of that should be AI or API day one, MCP day one, take it with it to Claude, take your data with you anywhere you want to use it, Codex, it's your data, use it how you want. But when it comes like scheduling, routing, plugging in AI agents, you got to think through that. And then there's some really interesting things you can do around like even labels and SDS, right? So imagine if field routes could index every chemical, right, and have perfect SDS compliance because it has access to real-time data and it's pulling all that data in real time. You usually when you sign up with another CRM, you have to like type in every product code and all this stuff. Like it should just happen automatically because the data is in the world. So I don't know. It's
I'm gonna go back to the original question then. So is it a 5 month thing? Is it a 1 year thing? Is it a 3 year thing? Where are you actually thinking?
I think it's within 6 months.
Yeah.
And as soon as the Turing test on this is as soon as we can run a company for one day, a sizable company, multi-tech, everything like, and it has parity to what they have now, then like I can't see a reason to continue not going down that path. And I don't think we're super far off. But
if you need a company or an office to test it on, just let me know.
Yeah. We might have to take a look. I had to take a little look at your Grand Rapids branch manager or owner. Dylan. He'd reach. He's like, dude, are you in Grand Rapids? I was like, yeah, dude, we're downtown, Michigan State Building. Stop by.
Yeah.
Meet the team.
Yeah, he's a stud. It'd be pretty cool. It'd be interesting to see what happens if you ever do that. If you ever build that CRM,
I don't know if we can call it a CRM. Really, it's a data repository that does interesting things.
It's funny because a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I had my mentor, Jonathan Potosnik, on, and he was kind of talking about the same thing. Like in 2 years from now, there's probably not even be CRM. It's going to be open files that you can pretty much source through everything. He was kind of talking about this a while ago.
Yeah. Yes. And companies, I think one of the problems with AI is that you can do so much with it, you kind of don't know what to do. So you need some guidance around like, if you have a 10 truck operation, there's like, you're going to need that domain expertise, like that knowledge transfer, whoever's doing the routing. And like Tommy can't do Granville on Thursdays because it's excluded from his applicator permissions. That company level context, like learning that is one thing. And then like, how do you deploy that across the app? So there's a lot of interesting computer science questions that like still need to be answered. Bigger CRMs are trying to do it and they're throwing it into a Snowflake data lake and then slapping AI on it and calling that like intelligence or analytics or something. And they're saying that that's like the future state. I don't believe that. They're just slapping AI. It's like putting lipstick on a pig. I mean, it's not built in a way that like a good AI agent could even use it. So, so we'll see. I mean, there's other companies who have already launched and like they started with AI agents and they quickly realized that, hey, we need to go build a CRM. But I don't know. It's I think about it a lot. Like why it's so frustrating when we launch with a client and then they tell us the CRM they're using and they're like, we have other clients that use that CRM and then we know that their API is shit intentionally. It's like, because it would take a day or two to build a good API. That's how much work it would take. It's not this huge thing. It would take a day or two and some like care. Like you would need to care a little bit or have a little bit of love for your users. So
yeah. What do you think the best way is currently to use AI agents?
Well, a lot of ways that we use them. So we built an internal intelligence at our business called Scout. So it has all of our company context, all of our Stripe data. It has access to Clicki, every Clicki company, every Clicki promoter, how many referrals they're generating. We have this thing called enrollments, which is all of the integrations into the software so it can proactively go find failures. That's how we're using it. So it's been really essential for us for kind of finding problems in the business before we even... Usually you hear about problems for your customers. Pest Badger would call me and say, our referrals aren't going in. And then we go and look at the...
Never done that before.
Yeah, look at the code, be like, well, the API key is not working. So now we're trying to be on the proactive and let us know. And we call it Scout. Scout will actually proactively look for these problems and red flags and let our team know so we can fix the problem before it even hits the end user, our customer, is really the best way to do it. But I guess I'm a software company. We're seeing our customers do using AI agents for collections, like you mentioned. So we're an investor in a smaller company. It's an AI agent, AR service, but they're also adding win-backs and upsells. And they turned it on for a company. They made like $5,000 in upsells. They ran an upsell campaign for, I think it was aeration this fall. And so I think that's really interesting, where your customers can get a dedicated AI account manager that can handle upsells, reviews, referrals, all of that. So that's powerful. And yeah, I guess that's the only stuff that I've been seeing lately.
It's an interesting world we live in. What a fascinating time, like couldn't be in a better spot.
Yeah, I think what our customers do, what the people that listen to this pod do, is the most important thing. And they're the ones that are actually delivering the real world value. They're creating a safer environment for homeowners to live in, a more beautiful property for them to enjoy. Like, that is real and tangible value. Like Elon talks about it all the time. Like there's products and services. It's like that is the ball game. Like, that is how you make money on this planet, is you either deliver a product or you deliver services. And the people that listen to this pod deliver something that's real and like if money didn't matter tomorrow, like you could still offer pest control in exchange for eggs. I'd imagine, as long as there's chemicals or whatever, but like it's useful. It is valuable. So hopefully AI just helps continue making the better companies rise to the top, is my hope. So
yeah, I agree. Awesome. Well, Kendall, I don't mean to cut you off, but it's already been an hour.
We hit it, buddy. We hit it. 50 minutes.
People. I have 2 pages of notes, as always. So go back to the team with the notebook. Go through and talk about what we have with Clicki, Bravo, where we can maybe better utilize what we're already doing. Not that we already aren't, but always can make it better. Always room for improvement.
Yeah, we have a bigger team now. We have 16 people on the staff where
awesome.
Like they can help you with anything you want. So I would encourage that any listeners that are current customers, reach out to our team, support at joinclicki.com. If you have help, questions, concerns, ideas, let us know.
Awesome. As always, buddy, appreciate you. And I'll chat with you soon.
Yep. Peace. We'll see ya.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to another episode of Pest Control Millionaire. We don't charge any money for the show, but the podcast isn't free. Please like and subscribe and give us a 5-star review in your favorite podcast app. This makes a huge difference for us. If you have any specific questions about your business or your personal life that you'd like answered by me or any of my podcast guests, please send an email to info@pestcontrolmillionaire.com. And if you want to get in touch with me about our marketing class, we do a live version every Thursday night. Check out our website at pestcontrolmillionaires.com. Thank you guys for listening. I'll see you guys in the next one.